Hi, everybody. My name is Michael Angelo Caruso, and I want to talk today about the art of saying you're sorry. This is something called, I call it the perfect apology, because it turns out there is a very correct way to make things right with another person. And so often, because of the emotional quicksand that's involved with healing a relationship, we get distracted by emotion, the other person's argument, our own ego. Sometimes we even get in our own way by choosing the wrong time to say I'm sorry. So I have a couple of tenets. I've been crafting this for a long time. I've written about it and published about it and spoken about it to many organizations who have me in to do conflict resolution work. And it doesn't matter what industry I'm speaking to or what kind of team I'm speaking to. It could be the front office, it could be the sales team, it could be the executive team, doesn't matter. The perfect apology goes roughly the same way every time. And it's kind of like acting. If you hit your mark, if you hit your marks, if you do what I tell you to do, you'll get about as close to perfection as is possible in the art of saying you're sorry to somebody. So I want you to grab a pencil and a pen. We're going to run this down. And by the way, if you like these tips, you should subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Michael Angelo Caruso. And then you'll be notified of new videos whenever I post them, videos like this one. So there are only 5 steps to this, but you'll never remember them. So I want you to write them down right now. And then here's how I'll roll it out to you. I'm going to take you through the sequence one by one. And I am going to stop and pull back the curtain and show you the magic of the verbiage, the timing, the tone, everything that I'm doing. And then I'll recap by doing the apology more fluidly. And I'm very certain that you can take tips from this. You can take it in whole cloth if you want, and do better when you're apologizing to other people, whether it's at work, at home, people in your condo association. We find that we have to apologize for a lot of things in life, and it's good to have this skill set down. It's surprising that more of us don't have the perfect apology already in place, but here we go. Let's make it better for you anyway in the next few minutes. So the first thing you need to know is that the perfect apology needs to be staged, right? You don't do this in passing by walking down the hallway. Hey, I want to really apologize for screwing up, right? This is done seated, kneecap to kneecap, eyeball to eyeball, and it's done face to face. So you can do it in FaceTime, you can do it with Skype, but you don't issue the perfect apology via text. So that's the first thing. It has to be staged. And to stage it, you open the dialogue. Let's say you're visiting somebody in their office or their cube, and you knock, and you say, "Excuse me, Bill, do you have a second? There's something important I need to share with you." Now, if Bill says, "No, I don't have a second right now," and let's face it, Bill's probably angry with you if you're coming in to apologize about something. He may just, his reflexive thing is, "No, I don't have time for you," right? And you have to accept that. But an interesting thing happens when you say, when he says to you, "No, I don't have time for you right now," and you walk out, "No worries, I'll come back another time." As you start to walk out, Bill psychologically thinks, I wonder what it is that he wants to say, and it makes him want it a little bit more than he would have wanted it if you forced yourself on him. So wait for Bill to tell you it's okay to come in or come sit down, because that's your next question. Great, this will just take a couple seconds. Do you mind if I sit? And again, you're giving him the choice. So this is all about getting him to say some soft yeses before you ask him for the hard yes. And the hard yes is coming in the way of forgiveness. So you're staging it, right? Seated rather than standing, face to face rather than text. Bill, I've been wanting to talk to you for quite a while now. Is it okay if I sit down for a minute? Great. I should have come in to talk to you about this earlier, and I'm sorry I haven't. And now it's all staged. You see, now he's been marinating, maybe just for a few seconds, but he's been marinating, and he may be more open to your apology than he otherwise might be. So that's all step 1, staging the perfect apology. Stage 2 is an interesting gambit. And what I'm going to ask you to do is take full responsibility for every bad thing that's happened. between you and Bill, right? 100%, man. I'm not talking about 90-10, 80-20. I'll split the difference with you. This was as much your fault as it was mine. None of that. You are taking full responsibility for everything that happened. Now, this does a couple of things. This, because you take full responsibility, it eliminates the argument about who did what, right? And we've seen that happen so many times, you know. I'll apologize for this if you apologize for that. What? I'm not apologizing for that. It's you that did this, and it just reopens the wound, right? So you can skip that whole thing. You can mitigate all of that niggling, right? All of that negotiation simply by saying, I take full responsibility. Now, this is going to be hard if you got a little bit of an ego, and it's going to be harder if it's not true. But if your number one goal is to issue a truce, if your number one goal is to start over and get this malaise behind you, then forget about who was responsible for 10% or 18% of the argument. Take full responsibility. Be the bigger person. You're already setting the tone. You're the one coming to him. You're the one extending the olive branch. And now you're the one, surprise, taking 100% responsibility for everything that's happened. The exact language is, listen, I feel really bad about what's happened between us, and I want to take full responsibility for everything bad that's happened. Just like that, right? And it's slow, and it's not dramatic, and it's done in what we call a librarian tone, right? You're not still angry with him when you say this. Okay, then I'll take full responsibility for everything that happened. Nice and easy, man. I want to take full responsibility for everything bad that's happened between us. You see how everything about it's kind of low key, right? And then the next line's key. This is the actual apology, but I'm going to do something interesting at the end of the statement. So the statement is, I am truly sorry for anything I've contributed to this, everything that I've contributed to this. And I'm asking for your forgiveness. Now, what most people do is they stop and they wait for the other person to say, okay, I forgive you, as if it's a push button mechanism. And emotions and forgiveness doesn't work like that. He may need some time, right? So I'm not going to ask him. I'm not going to obligate him to answer me right now. I'm going to keep talking, but it'll be at such a slow pace, it won't seem pushy to him. And listen to how it goes. I'll pace it for you. Bill, I am truly sorry for what happened between us. And I want to ask for your forgiveness, because I would like to start with a fresh slate, and I would like to have our relationship be the best it can be moving forward. See what I did? I skipped the part where he says, yes, I forgive you, because I don't want to give him that kind of pressure. It's not fair to him. See, he didn't even know I was coming by today. So I just keep moving, right? I just keep the wagon train and moving, right? There's a whole process to this. So I'm looking forward to our relationship being better as a result of me coming in to take 100% responsibility. You get it. And then now Bill has a chance now to answer you, but I'm still not going to force the answer on him, because I'm going to leave this little sit down. I'm not going to ask him for yes or no. It's too much like television, right? It's too much like a sitcom. You know, it's got to end nicely in 30 minutes. That's not how real life works. So I'm going to ask for his forgiveness. And if he wants to say yes now, I'll give him that time. But if he doesn't want to say yes now, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say, listen, I just wanted to stop by and see you. I'm sure we'll have a chance to talk about this later on or moving forward. Thank you very much for your time. I truly meant what I said. And then I say, I got a deadline. I've got to go, and never lie about this. If, you always have a deadline, right? Got to be on the call. You got to get back on the phone. Got to go see somebody, right? So I got to go right now, but I'm sure we can talk about this moving forward. And now I'm on my way out. Now, what's Bill thinking on the way out? Wow, he came to me. Wow, he took 100% responsibility. Wow, he might mean it. And my favorite, wow, maybe I should have done that. Maybe I should have taken the initiative. So he's learning, maybe he's learning to adapt his version of the perfect apology. So in full, it goes something like this. Hey, Bill, do you have a minute? Great. You mind if I sit? Thank you. I won't be here long, but there's something important I want to share with you. I should have come by earlier to talk to you about this. And I just want to say that I'm I'm really sorry about what's happened between us, and I want to take 100% responsibility for everything bad that's happened. It's all my fault. And I want to do this because I'd like us to have a fresh slate, Bill. I'd like us to start over again. I'd like our relationship to be better than it is right now. And I really appreciate you listening to me for a few minutes. Would that be okay with you if our relationship was better than it is now? And you get a little soft yes from him, right? And you go, and then you might say, well, thanks for coming in, or let me think about it, or whatever crazy thing people say when this happens, because Bill's got an ego too. And then say, listen, I got to run. I just had a minute to do this, and I wanted to do it today. I meant everything that I said, and I hope our relationship can be better moving forward. Whatever that relationship is, boss, subordinate, husband, wife, siblings, next door neighbor, right? Whatever. I want our relationship to be better moving forward. I'll do whatever it takes. Would it be okay with you? And you get that soft yes, right? And then you say, great, it was nice seeing you. I'll talk to you soon. And you turn and you walk out. Now, one of two things, main things, can happen after you walk out of the perfect apology. The first thing is that Bill, over time, whether it's 5 minutes, 5 days, or 5 weeks, starts to realize you really did mean it, right? You really are a good person. And he comes to forgive you, maybe not with some sort of, declaration or showbiz, song and dance. The relationship starts to heal a little bit for various reasons, time being one of them, right? And the second thing that can happen is that Bill refuses to accept your apology and continues to show interest in wrestling in the mud. And there's an old saying down south that you never wrestle with a pig because you both get dirty and the pig likes it. So if Bill wants to continue to stay in the mud on this thing, you now have some choices. You have no control over Bill's response to your apology, but you may have some control over how often you say hello to Bill or how much time you choose to spend with Bill, right? And I say that without knowing the actual nature of the relationship between you and the person you're apologizing to. If it's husband and wife, it gets, there's a lot at stake. If it's somebody on your work team, it's a much different thing. Only you can decide, but you can't change people. And so what you want to do is say, if you can't say goodbye to somebody, at least try to say hello to them less frequently. Because if they haven't accepted the perfect apology, it's not on you anymore. So I hope this has been helpful to you. More communication tips about ways your relationships can be better at home and at work at michaelangelocaruso.com in my blog. I have a podcast at Podbean. Just go to Podbean and type in Michelangelo Caruso. The podcast is also on iTunes. And of course, as I said earlier, more free videos like this one. Just subscribe to the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, Michelangelo Caruso on YouTube, and you'll see the channel come up. Thanks very much, and good luck with all your relationships.